All right, peace world. Thanks for joining me on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment live stream. If you check this afterwards, thanks for tuning into the video. Actually, we're going to jump into some Bite Down Boxing presented by PMNM. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my guest, very special guest in Demond, the best at it, Nicholson. What's good, bro?
What's happening, man? Thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You got a big fight coming up. Means a lot to you. So I wanted to get you on and talk through it and get a fan that happen to tune into this, man. Anybody that wants to ask any questions, feel free to throw those up in the chat. And let's welcome Demond to Bite Down Boxing.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I try to find a way when I get guys on, man, you know, humanize you guys a little bit, or get to know you guys a little bit.
Right.
I wondered, did you get to check out that that Charm City joint, the movie a while back?
Charm City Kings. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
What'd you think about that, man?
How
they do the city?
It was good, man. It was good, man. You know, it gave you some taste of Baltimore, and some taste of, you know, of a everyday life in Baltimore. You know, there's young kids out there who really strive to do those things. You know, really look at those guys, those legends on the dirt bikes, who's riding around from, like, that's real. You know, I remember I was a kid, and I used to ride my bicycle, man. You know, I didn't live in Baltimore City, but I lived right outside of it. You know, we used to be wheeling on our bicycles and stuff like that, you know. And whoever rode around the neighborhood the longest, man, they were like the neighborhood legend, you know.
Right.
You know. But
yeah, I dug it, man. I got around to it a little late because I got mixed up on when it came out and during COVID and whatnot. But once I finally locked into it a couple of weeks back, the main character on there was in that Queen and Slim movie, so it was a little different seeing him.
Yeah,
in that role.
Yeah, it was. But he's a good actor, man.
Yeah, he pulled it off nicely.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not the biggest fan of can't think of his name, the rapper. Mill. I'm not.
Yeah, Big Mill.
That tells you how much of a fan of Mill. Not that I dislike Mill, but I thought he did a pretty decent job.
No, he did. He actually did a great job, man. He did a great job, man. He definitely earned my respect watching that movie.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
You get it with any of the other sports franchises there in the DMV? Ravens, the Washington football team.
No, I haven't. You know, I don't really I haven't really got in good with none of the sports yet. You know, I don't have that attention yet. You know.
Okay.
This fight right here is gonna bring that type of attention for sure. But I'm not there yet. But I'm there. I'm there, but I'm not there.
Okay. All right. So getting into this fight, man, you're taking on Edgar Berlanga, April 24th on this Emmanuel Navarrete card with him and Christopher Diaz.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, man, on taking this fight? Just based on the kind of the ring rust. I mean, at the really, really high level, we hear so much talk about when I'm ready, I need this, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
How does that factor in for you?
Honestly, man, it's actually the perfect timing. You know, I had an injury 2 years ago. That in 2 years ago, in May 2019, and my injury, you know, affected my kidneys, and my kidneys basically, you know, shut my whole body down. And me having the fighter mentality and the warrior mentality that I had, you know, I was right back in the ring in October. So honestly, I didn't really get my body the rest that it needed, you know, in the recovery that it needed, you know, and I fought again in February, you know. So once COVID hit, you know, I just had time to really recover, you know, recover my body, myself spiritually and physically 100%. 100%, you know, and so this fight is actually the perfect timing. You know, I was never out the gym, even though every gyms were closed due to COVID, but I have my own gym, so we was never out the gym. I stayed in the gym. You know, I mean, even though being in the gym is totally different from fighting, but I've been in the gym literally my entire life, so I have that experience. You know, whereas though, if ring rust was to even be a factor, I know how.
I'm not hearing you. Oh, there you go. There you
My
go.
bad, my bad. Somebody called me. I
Oh,
apologize.
okay. Okay, no
But
problem. No problem.
but I know, like, even if ring rust was to a cure, a cure, you know what I'm saying? I know how to, not even think about it, just stick to the game plan and keep things flowing.
So no concerns with him. I mean, and he's not a guy getting a lot of rounds in.
Right,
Obviously, the first round knockout streak, but he
right,
did fight in December. But
right.
no concerns with him having an advantage in that area.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. That's the only advantage that he does has is that, he's been fighting. He fought 5 times last year, but it was 5 minutes, so that's not a huge factor or a big thing to worry about for me, man. Not at all.
Were you able to get a proper camp in? I know, state to state, city to city is kind of difficult, whatever
Uh-huh.
the COVID constraints are and whatnot. So are you satisfied with the preparation you've been able to get
Man,
in?
I had a beautiful camp, man. Beautiful camp. Camp. We kept camp here in Baltimore, and right outside my home. So man, camp was great, man. I had 8 to 10 weeks of camp. Yeah, so camp was great, and I was in camp with Cater Plant back in December and January. So, his camp was great. It was great.
I was going to ask about that because I did check out your interview the other day on the Akin Barak show on
Okay,
Sirius and Fight
okay,
Night and whatnot, Fight
okay.
Nation and whatnot.
Uh
So
huh.
with that experience around Plant, do you think that's kind of instrumental, man, in picking up different tactics, techniques, and whatnot?
Um,
Uh,
I would say definitely. And not only that, but you working with a world champion. So it just goes to show you, the level I'm supposed to be on and stuff like that. Um, we work good together. You know, I can't say that I learned a lot. Because like I said, I've been boxing forever. So me and him, we're on a kind of like the same level, whereas though we're still learning.
okay.
It was great though. It was great.
But you're out there
Good
by yourself.
confidence builder. No.
Okay.
I was with my dad. Me and my dad went.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the thing here, I just mentioned the 16, first round knockout streak
Yeah.
for Berlanga. The media, the way ESPN
Uh-huh.
sells it, the way that Tessitore
Yeah.
and Ford and they sell this.
Right.
But it appears to be that he's a big puncher, man. I'm just
Right.
wondering.
Definitely.
We've seen other big punchers, even in a Kavalauskas, where somebody said that
Right.
he was like a middleweight. But
Right.
we've seen guys stand up to it. What's key to you in preparing for a guy that's touted as a big puncher? You're on mute again.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. I hear you.
The key to get ready for a big puncher, man, is just become prepared. I mean, boxing is not about how hard you can hit. You know, it's not about that. It's about skill. And also I can hit too. So when you mix skill and the punching power together, you have an elite fighter. So that's pretty much all it is to it, man. And just to be mentally strong. Going there, understand that after going there, understand that look, this is a kid. In boxing, he's a kid to me. He hasn't knocked out anyone that I would knock out. You know, so that's just it. Mentally going there, understanding that I'm the veteran in here. He's still learning. He has a lot to learn. Yeah, he can hit hard, but I hit hard too. So let's see who can really focus, because sometimes, like, I had my first 10 fights were all, I was 10-0, 10 knockouts, 9 of them in the first round. And you know, when the first time I had to go past the first round, I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Past the second round, I was like, whoa, like, okay, I have to think now. I can't just knock this dude out. I gotta really, you know, work on the things that I've been working on in the gym. Like I gotta jab, I have to set this knockout up, you know. So that's the key there, you know. Can he make that transition to where it's though, all right, you know, I gotta set things up. I can't just knock this man out, you know. That's the key. You know, it's not about, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and knock him out the first round. All right, if I see it, you know, oh yeah. So say, God forbid, say he does hurt me in the first round, but I know how to recover from it. What you gonna do then? You know, are you gonna punch yourself out till you get tired and then I knock you out, or what? You know, so this right here it would be a very big learning experience for me. Very big.
Do you think that's one thing that's maybe being overlooked in the matchmaking or the run up to this fight is the 20 knockouts in your 23 fights? It's being downplayed a little bit, or
definitely being downplayed. Yes, it's definitely being downplayed. You know, and if you really watch my fights, everybody that I've been in the ring with, I've hurt before. It wasn't no like I'm 23-3-1 with 20 knockouts, but really, you know, I mean, if you take off those losses, I'm 23-0 with 20 knockouts. You know what I mean? And what they don't understand is, like I said, everybody I've been in the ring with, I've hurt, whether it's dazed or dropped and or anything, you know. So they haven't paid attention to that. You know, like this kid will get hurt in the fight. That's something they can't stop. You know, so now they got to see, like, what is he going to do when he gets hurt? You know, and I think that's the thing they're trying to see. You know, I hope that's what it is. You know, I mean, because it doesn't really make sense for them to pick a fighter like me at this stage of his career. You know, he hasn't fought no B class fighters yet. You know, I consider myself a B class fighter right now. You know, I have yet to prove myself that I'm ready for the A class side, the elite fighters. I haven't proved that yet. I know I haven't, but I know I'm an A class fighter. But I know on paper and in the public eye, you know, I haven't proven that yet. So we should see. You know, we shall see.
One thing that you called out on the Ak and Barak show was fear. Is what you saw in the previous guys who went in there against Berlanga. Honestly, I was very shocked at Eric Moon's performance.
I was very shocked, man. I was shocked, man. I was.
In particular, I didn't know that much about Bellows and then the Sierra cat, whatever. But are there any other similarities that you saw in those guys recently in that first round? Because I felt like they didn't give Berlanga too much to be concerned with.
They didn't exactly. You know, and they didn't give him anything to be concerned of. To me, honestly, you know, when you look, as soon as you looked at them walking out into the ring, all you saw was just like, okay, man, look, I know this kid hit hard, so when he hits me, like, what am I gonna do? You know, like that's the vibe I got from them. You know, but any other fights that I've seen of his, I haven't really seen much. Only thing, what you want to know what we studied this fight? We studied his last amateur fight. Because that's really the last time he's really had a real fight where he went more than one round and had to do something. You know, when you turn pro, you know, your first 10 fights, a lot of people don't know this, but your first 10 fights are the easiest fights of your professional career because they're trying to build you. They're trying to see what you can do. And, you know, and so from his first 10 fights, he's still fighting people he should have fought in his first 10 fights, you know? Like, I mean, like I said, the biggest fight that I seen that he had was Erg Moon. Other than that, you know, I don't know anybody. Bellows, yeah, but Bellows a bum. You know, I mean, I hate to call it, say it online like that, but he's a bum. That's just what it is, you know? He's a bum. So when you go on paper, right? when you go on paper and you look at his record and you look at all the fighters that he's fought, it's only two fighters that you can name like, oh yeah, I heard of them before, and it's Erk Moon and Bellows. His last fight, what did you say his name was? Sierra from Spain?
I don't know if he's from Spain.
Yeah.
You listen. You listen.
He's from Spain. He's from Spain. How many world champions you know from Spain?
Yeah, that's an easy break. That's an easy no
brainer.
Right
like, come on, man. Like he hasn't fought anyone to where as though he's ready for the next level yet. To say, all right, boom, this is okay. When he now after he fights me, that's where we're gonna see where he belongs. You know, all right, okay. We knew they're gonna this is gonna be all right. So we knew, you know, he has all the first round knockouts, but you know, the first person he really fought was Team Nicholson, and he didn't succeed. You know, so but I told I don't know if I said this on the Akbarak, but I said in a recent interview, you know, after this fight, he just has to understand that look, they were moving just a little too fast. You know what I'm saying? So just don't beat yourself up. You're young, man. You're 23 years old. You know, you're 23 years old. You lost to somebody who's a veteran, somebody who can really, really fight. You know, somebody who knows the sport in and out. You know, so it's not this won't be a loss at all for him. This will be a lesson. You know, something that he can go back and learn from and still be happy and still make a lot of money, you know, in the sport and still become a champion. That's all it is to it, man. And I try to a lot of people don't understand because, you know, people see the knockouts, they see the stars, they see the hype, you know. So, but man, I like your question you asked me, I don't, other than Erk Moon and Bellows, I don't see any other opponents that I know can that I would be like, you know, oh yeah, well, we could watch this and we see this. All I saw was fear.
Gotcha. We got a question in the live chat from my brother 503 out of Houston. I believe he's from H-Town. He's asking, he put Desmond, but will Demond not be afraid of Edgar Berlanga's power?
No, I'm not
on that, but that's a question.
No, I'm not. I'm not afraid of his power. Power means nothing in that square circle. You know, it's all about skill.
Gotcha. Now, you know, you do have on your record, as you just mentioned, you have 2 of your 3 losses, you know, ended inside the distance. But is this an advantage to you in this particular regard that you got up off the canvas twice early against Hart? And like you said, I thought a lot of these guys that I see lately don't really have any survival tactics or instinct.
No.
And do you think this experience gives you something to pull from in case you do get hurt?
Right. It has a lot to prove from it. And it has a lot to prove from it because it shows you that, listen, I can get hurt and get up and get back up and fight again. You know, I know how to survive. You know, I know how to get hurt, get back up and fight, not lay down. You know, so and pretty much that's all these guys been doing. He's been fighting is laying down. And what a lot of people don't understand is when you get knocked down, it's a technique. You don't just jump straight back up. You know, you don't just jump straight back up. I don't even care if you just fall. You know what I'm saying? You don't jump straight back up because your body takes a quick shock. So you got to give your body time to really focus and understand what's going on so you can recover. You know, so that's one thing I know how to do. I know how to recover from anything, from any punch, a knockdown, whatever it is, you know. And that's just all a part of boxing. Every great boxer has been down before. If he hasn't, something's wrong. Every great boxer even been down or seen 2 or 3 or 4 people in that ring, you know. And that's true. Even Floyd Mayweather, you know. So hey, it's the name of the game. You know, it's about knowing how to win under any circumstance.
Gotcha. We got another question in the live chat from my man Latoris Harrison. He said, "What have you learned from your losses that you'll use to avoid losing this fight? And then, do you feel you have to get the stoppage to get the win?"
One thing I learned from my losses is that, number one, a loss is a lesson. You know, a lot of times when somebody lose, not all the times is the person the person they lost to was better than them, or was just you know, or just punish them or something like that. It's just sometimes it was their night. You know, that's one thing I learned. You know, it was just their night. All of my losses came from things I was doing either outside of the gym or problems that I was having within myself. You know, so I mean, most of the time, all three of my losses, I beat myself. You know, pretty much. You know, and fighting with myself, fighting crazy things and stuff like that. But I learned that's one thing I learned. You know, every loss is not a loss, it's a lesson. You know, so that means it's time for you to really focus, lock in, and just prepare, you know, mentally, you know, and don't beat yourself up, you know.
Gotcha.
And but do I think I'll have to get a stoppage to get this fight? I do think I have to. If I don't stop him, I have to literally punish him for 8 rounds. That's just what it is.
You went back and forth on the money in the 8-rounder versus 10-rounder to fight him and whatnot. But you were working your way. You were comfortably at the stage of fighting 10-rounders. Any thoughts on, you know, not having those 2 rounds to maybe, does that change your approach towards the fight?
Oh, no, it didn't. See, the problem was, I thought the money they were offering me, I thought it was for 10 rounds. That was the problem. I didn't know this was going to be an 8-round fight. So when they said, you know, such and such for I'm thinking they saying such and such for 10 rounds. I'm like, you can take it up some more. And when they took it up more, and then they told us it was 8 rounds, I was like, wow, you know, like, okay, shoot, I couldn't argue. I couldn't argue at all. I shouldn't argue at first, but hey, now I know what the rounds are. That's great. But as far as this fight being 8 rounds, I'm thinking like, wow, you know, they see something that we don't see. I mean, that I see, but a lot of people don't see. Like, I don't think they think he's ready for 10 rounds. That's what I think. You know, I mean, he's 16-0, still fighting 8 rounds. You know, that's unheard of. You know, he's supposed to be fighting 10 rounds.
And it's a co-main.
But I think I have the advantage. You know, I have the advantage. Exactly. So I definitely, I mean, they're giving me even a big advantage. This fight is set up for me to win, man, and it's crazy, but it's crazy. It's set for me to win.
I can dig that. One thing you said was kind of hilarious. I'm not a betting man, so I don't keep up with this aspect of it. But I think on the Akim Barak show, you mentioned somewhere it was odds out there, some staggering odds on whether or not you could make it out of this first round or not. 45-1 or something. Is that out there?
No, it was 45. It was 45-1 that I wouldn't make it to the 4th round.
Oh, that's right, to the 4th. I'm sorry, to the 4th. Okay.
To the 4th.
That's still out there? Is that still out there?
Man. That's crazy.
So you think,
man. Like, that's just disrespectful.
So you pretty confident some of us, if we chose to, we could use this as a second stimmy then, if we wanted to come up.
Man, this if you bet the right money, this is gonna be a 3rd or 4th stimulus.
Let me see if I can move some stuff around real quick. See if I can find something capitalized.
The crazy thing is, man, I'm not a betting man either. Like, I don't bet, man. I don't like losing money, you know, but
right.
In this case, you know I'm not gonna lose any money. So hey, I'm betting.
Got you. We got another question from 503 line. He says, are you mentally and physically prepared for a guy like Edgar Berlanga? I guess on top of that, second question. Well, let you get that first. Are you mentally and physically prepared?
Man, I am 100% mentally and physically prepared for Edgar Berlanga. The question is he mentally and physically prepared for me? But yes, I am 100%. Yes.
That was gonna be my turnaround on that. Was he ready for you? Hey, I gotta. What I'm I'm noticing though, and I got a chance to ask him about this with the company that he keeps kind of running around, not running around in a negative way, but embraced
Right.
by Fat Joe, Tracy Morgan. He's in New York City where it's a bunch of big names, Brooklyn and whatnot.
Yeah.
You checking out his Instagram at all to kind of get a sense of where he might be with all of that type of attention?
Nah, you know what, man? I've been staying off of Instagram, man. I haven't even seen anything. I let a friend of mine run my Instagram, so I don't even really pay it no mind, But one thing I do know, when you have stuff like that, going on, it's a big lack of focus, especially when you have a big fight like this, So I mean, hey, to each his own, but stuff like that, man, it's stuff like that knocks off your focus, especially when you're young and you're coming up and you're doing things that's unheard of. It's hard to keep up with stuff like that. It's hard to really lock in and focus 100% on the fight.
Yeah, I got it. Like I said, I got a chance to pose. Actually, I think the cat from Top Rank headed on me. He didn't let me get my follow-up question in to him. But I just, I don't think we know what Tracy Morgan overcame with his accident. Fat Joe's been doing his thing for years and whatnot. But I don't know if all of those guys can understand the process of becoming a star in boxing as they do in their industries is different.
It's two different things. It's two different things. And the crazy thing is, like I said, he can still become a star. It's just not right now. That's just like if you look at Canelo Alvarez.
Wi-Fi hating. Got to come back to this. Can you go back to that Canelo Alvarez point you were making?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. We hear you.
You can hear me?
Yep. Started breaking up again.
We back?
I hear you.
Hold on. Golly, it's going. My drink. I'm back now. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Your screen is a little frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay. I can hear you now too.
You were saying something about Canelo if we look at Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, I was saying that even after Canelo fought Floyd, he became bigger afterwards, It's just about how you pick the fights. That's what it's just about how you pick the fights, But he's not going to become what they think on my watch. Not on my watch.
I hear you. Another question from 503. Got you. I was thinking that myself as you said that, but glad I didn't steal your thunder. 503 Lion asked, where are you from and how did you start boxing? Question from the live chat.
Where am I from? Okay. I'm from Lower Maryland, man. It's a small city right outside of Washington, D.C., and it's in between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So I started boxing, man, at the age of 6 years old. I couldn't play football at the time, man. I was mad. My dad was like, well, you can start boxing. And I've been in the gym ever since, man. It was the summer of 1999, man. I've been in the gym for going on 22 years.
Got you.
Yep.
That's how you become the best at it.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Now, who's gonna be in the corner for you? Is your dad your trainer or?
Yeah, my dad's gonna be the lead man. Then we have Coach Calvin Ford, and then we have Coach Kenny Ellis.
Okay, I'm familiar with definitely familiar with Calvin Ford, but I think I had Coach Kenny on the show before.
Yes.
Because he works with Malik,
Okay,
doesn't
okay,
he?
that's great. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes,
I
yeah.
just wanted
Yep, yep.
the whole kidney dialysis situation. I believe that happened after a weigh-in.
Right after weigh-in, man, I was supposed to fight the next day. Um, uh, right after the weigh-in, man, I started rehydrating and stuff like that. And out of nowhere, man, my body just gave out on me. I thought I was dehydrated and everything, but I told my dad, man, I wanted to get some rest. He was like, nah, man, we got to go to the hospital. My body had never just gave out, went limp, So my security guard, he carried me down 7 flights of steps. Shout out to Jose Douglas and a friend of mine, Simon. They drove me to Inova Hospital. And once I got to the hospital, man, they gave me 2 bags of IVs. That didn't help. And from there, man, I went to sleep. When I woke up, they woke me up. It was like, Mr. Nicholson, we gave you 11 bags of IVs. Can you pee? Basically. I said, well, I don't have to right now. They was like, sir, they said, if you don't have to go to the bathroom, sir, we're gonna have to put a catheter in you. I said, what? I said, do what? So from there, man, I jumped up. I tried to jump up, man. I couldn't get up, man. I had to stand up to pee. Couldn't stand up. So my dad stand up. You hear me?
I'm hearing you. You're breaking up a little bit.
From there, man, said, Mr. Nicholson, we believe your kidneys failed. I said, okay. I said, so what does that mean? In my mind, man, all I wanted to do was fight the next day. That's all I was thinking about, man. I'm ready to fight. This is a big fight. I had a WBC title, then right at that time. I wanted to defend my title so I could move up in the ranks and stuff like that. But they said, Mr. Nicholson, if your kidneys fail, sir, you definitely would not be fighting tomorrow. And until we run tests, we can't tell you when you will be. I said, well, you know what? All right, let's do what you got to do. So when they put the catheter in me, man, everything that was coming on my body was all my muscle tissue was purple. Don't you know, like people say you pee blood, so your blood is like look like iced tea.
Yeah.
Mine was purple, man, purple. Literally my muscle tissues are literally broke down in my body, man. So from there they ran the tests. Doctor came in, told me, Mr. Nicholson, they said, sir, you won't be back in the gym to 6 months to a year with the way your kidney levels and everything. They said, sir, we've never seen numbers like this before. So I said to the doctor, man, I told the doctor, I said, doc, 6 to 12 months. I said, no, sir. I said, I have kids. I have three kids. And 6 to 12 months, I said, man, my kids got to eat. I said, the way I know how to feed them is by boxing, throwing my hands. I said, that's what I do. I don't have time. I'm going to be on dialysis. I don't have time to be sitting around on dialysis all day worrying about how my kids going to eat, even though I know it will get taken care of. But, I'm an alpha male, man. I like to take care of things on my own. So they immediately put me on dialysis, man. Thankfully, man, I was on dialysis for 2 months. Man. I literally when I got out the hospital, man, I was 230 pounds, all fluid, because when your kidneys fail, you can't pee.
Right.
You can't pee. So that's when they put me on dialysis and stuff like that, man. And when I got out the hospital, I became vegan. I told myself, if this doctor telling me that it's going to take 6 months for me to heal, then I'm gonna have to heal myself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told myself. I'm gonna have to heal myself. I got to do everything proper to get my body back 100%, man. I became vegan. I started taking sea moss, bladderwrack, and stuff like that, and man, in 2 weeks, man, I started peeing again. Started peeing again in 2 weeks. My kidneys weren't back functioning, but I started peeing again, so that means they were coming back. But like I said, my numbers were so high, my kidney was completely gone. You know, so it took 2 months in order for them to really kick back in. And yeah, man. For those 2 months, I finally got off my dialysis. The doctor said, "Sir, you can't get back in the gym yet," but he said, "But you can start working out. You can do little things, man." So first thing I did, man, it was July 6th, 2019, man. I went swimming. So for a month, I was swimming every single day swimming, riding my bike. And from there, it took me 3 months to get back in the gym. I went back in the gym training, man. I almost died the first day back in the gym. I almost died. But man, I was just determined, man, that I was gonna get myself back 100%, you know, so I could pursue my career and do the things that I was born to do, you know. And it was like, you know, I prayed, when I tell you, I prayed, man. And it was like, you know, God gave me that second chance, man, to really focus and to really get my career how it should be, you know. So that's when somebody asked me, am I mentally focused and physically prepared? Man, I'm more mentally and physically prepared than I've ever been, ever, you know, because I be deaf, man. If I didn't go, if I wanted to lay down like I wanted to, I would have died, you know. My blood pressure was sky high, my heart rate was sky high, so I would have died from a heart attack or a stroke, because my body was trying to fight everything that was going on with it. You know, when your kidneys fail, everything shut down.
Right.
You know, so man, my body was going through it, man. And like I said, for me to return as early as I did, you know, it was just me being a warrior. You know, I shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have been in the ring for at least 12 months, like the doctor said. But me being strong, being hard-headed, you know, I got in there anyway. I still won, thank God, you know, but that just goes to show you, you know, I wasn't even 100%, but I'm still punishing these guys, you know.
So that's what how'd you feel? Well, one, did you have any of these complications, or did you feel bad, you know, before you shut down camp of that?
The crazy thing is, a week before everything happened, man, my kidneys were hurting, my back.
Okay.
My lower back was hurting. But for me, you know, it happened before. So I gotta drink some water. I gotta drink some more water while I'm in camp. That's all it is. And all the time, me not knowing, man, I'm shutting my kidneys down. I didn't know that, you know. That's something I didn't know. You know, boxers don't get their kidneys checked out. That's not something we normally do. We normally just get our physicals, they check everything, and that's it. But man, my kidneys were failing for some time, and I never knew it.
That's crazy. So and then how did you feel? I'm looking at Mike Guy, man. I don't think Mike Guy, no disrespect to him, man, but I don't see him as all that talented of a guy. You went 10 rounds with him. He got the victory over Dogan, though.
Yeah, and Erg Moon. You know what I'm saying? So he's man, believe it or not, man, Mike Guy is not somebody anyone should sleep on, because he brings it. You know, in that fight, like I said, I wasn't 100%, but I felt good. You know, I was beating him. I was the 6th round, man. I had planned on going out there and stopping Mike Guy. He caught me with a good right hand. Got back up. 7th round, I gave it to him just to recover. In the 8th, 9th, 10th round, man, I punished him, man. Got right back to the job.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect Mike Guy.
Hey, man, listen. People should be able to accept any kind of criticism. Man, you know how the things people probably say about me, but you know, I mean, I don't pay no mind, you know.
Yeah,
man, we gotta let our hands speak. Don't worry about what people say, you know.
And that's why, and I even said it. That's why I had to tip my cap to Douglas when he went out there. The performance that he put in against young Ammo Williams a few weeks back.
Right.
he came back and redeemed because I thought he was the better man than Mike Guy, but Mike Guy won that night. Another question in the chat was what does a victory do for you and your career?
This a victory for me in this fight. Basically, you know, just gets my name out there more. Know exactly who I am. You know, they will know. They don't. It won't be have the question right now. If I call Canelo out, people are like, man, who is this kid? You know, who is this guy? But after I beat Edgar Berlanga, people are like, oh yeah, okay, okay. I know who that is. That's Nicholson. Oh, that's Nicholson. That's that. You know, it gives me a bigger name. That's it.
Now, did this disrupt what you guys were doing? Because it seemed like it was a good fight circuit in the DMV area for quite a while, and you were kind of at the forefront of that. It was another group of guys in it, but you know, did COVID really kind of disrupt what was building locally for the boxing scene?
You said that. Hold on. Did you said that COVID build?
Did the pandemic stopping everything? Did that kind of halt the momentum of what you guys?
Yeah, it did. It did. I think COVID messed everyone up, man. You know, I think it messed everyone up. But at the same time, you know, it's time to build back. Like, I mean,
you went silent.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like this fight right here, you know, it's all about staying in shape, staying ready. Like I got this fight out of nowhere, you know, and that's because during COVID, man, you know, I stayed in the gym. I didn't get away. I didn't, you know, hide. You know, I know some people hiding because they got fat and all that, man. I stayed in the gym. I stayed training, man.
Gotcha.
I stayed ready.
Just a couple more questions, man. I'm gonna let you get into your weekend. Latoris Harrison also asked me and him talk about this quite a bit, but he said, Avon, Marlowe, or Stringer, who's the best fictional kingpin of the area? Going back to The Wire.
Man, you know what, man? I was a kid when The Wire came out, man. I can't even tell you that.
You are 30. I think you're 30,
I'm
right?
28.
I'm 28. I'm sorry. I gave you 2 years.
28. I don't even know, man.
Fair
don't
enough.
even know. Now you talk power. I know all about power and Snowfall, but I ain't watched The Wire, man.
Okay, well, we gonna skip over power.
My bad. You want to know something? No, yeah, we is gonna skip over power, but I was on The Wire. I was on one episode of The Wire as a kid, though.
Really?
Yep.
Hey, that's crazy.
Yep. But I never watched it though.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You remember what season?
It was towards the end. I don't remember what season though.
Okay, so safe to say you wasn't shorty that shot Omar.
Nah.
Pissed everybody off. The way that Omar went out. Speaking of Snowfall, what's your thoughts on the where the show is going this season?
Man, this show is like that, man. I love Snowfall, man. Snowfall is good, man. I'm enjoying it, man. I'm really enjoying it because it's real. You know, it's nothing fake about it. Nothing fake about it, man. I'm enjoying Snowfall, man. This is the best season to me.
Got you. I'm up and down with it, but you know, there's neither here nor there. Last question, man, so I can let you get on out of here. If you win, you can insert when you win there. I heard you mention Rosado, maybe Stevie Nelson,
yeah,
or even maybe Danny Jacobs.
Danny Jacobs, yeah.
So any favorite between or any preference between those three?
Yeah. Say any preference
for you out of any of those three guys? Would it be anybody that you prefer to?
Danny Jacobs, of course. You know that's more money. Danny Jacobs, man. Danny Jacobs over Rosado. It wouldn't matter. How you doing? Danny Jacobs over Rosado, man. It wouldn't really matter for me.
Got you. Got you. And then lastly, man, what's your thoughts? 168 was a little quiet for a minute, but obviously you have a big name coming to there like Canelo. So,
Man, 168 is hot. 168 is the new welterweight division, man.
Got you.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it. Any final word? Just for the fans, man. August going down, April 24th. Co-main event, 8 rounds of action. Any final words for people that you want them to know
Man,
about the best day?
I just appreciate anybody who's checking it, who's gonna watch the fight, and there's gonna be fireworks, and we're gonna win a lot of money. And I appreciate you, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Best of luck. I think that first round thing gonna come to an end, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But I'm pulling for you, big dog.
Definitely, man. Hey, you have a blessed one, man.
All right, thank you, man. Take care.
All right, brother. You too.
Peace. All right. It looked like he might have been going to the gym. Maybe. He was moving around quite a bit. I think I got a tour of the Charm City, the Charm City in the background, just watching where he was going. But anyway, man, that's Team Nicholson. I've been checking him out over the last couple of years. Like I said, I've talked to quite a few guys in the DMV. I was kind of fond of the boxing scene there. I was born in Prince George's County and kind of keep an eye. All my sports teams, my football team, and the Nationals. So I keep an eye on that area, man. And I just was, he was a guy I'd been seeing the names. Of course, he had the loss to, Jesse Hart, maybe 2018. But like I said, it was a nice fight scene building there in the DMV for a while. And what's his name? I think the Mike Reed. Yes, indeed, Mike Reed, I think was his name. 130 pounder or something. He ended up running into a rough patch, maybe against, I can't remember who that was against, but I think he went out west and tripped him up. I mentioned Malik Hawkins earlier. He had a bad outing against Super Middleweight on Showtime, back when Showtime got back started last year in COVID. I didn't even bother hitting. I know he trains alongside Tank Davis sometimes. I didn't even really feel like bringing that whole situation up with the charges pending against him and whatnot. But like you said, man, I wanted to bring him on. I thought he was a good dude. I enjoyed his interview on the Akin Barak show, which incidentally today was the last day of that show on ESPN. All the call letters are the same, but on the Zone. I actually got a voicemail thing from Ak of that show. He told me that they'll be doing the Zone. They're moving over to the Zone to do something there on the video side starting on April 19th. But how many of us appreciate it, Latours? Appreciate it, boss. How many of us really do a whole lot on the Zone app to really tune in to catch the interview? But like I said, when I talked about this, maybe at the top of the week, when I said that show was going away, I thought it was a play by the Zone and Matchroom to put extra content or create extra traffic, on the app. They had a Chris Mannix show over there, Jabs with him and Sergio Mora. The Akin Barak show will be moving over there to some kind of format or whatever. I don't even know if they're going to call it that. But so that was one complaint about the app, was that it was not enough content on there. All of y'all darts fans out there, professional darts and whatnot. But that was one of the complaints, that people didn't use it enough. It wasn't enough for people to go over there, especially for the $19.99 a month. And so I feel like, this is their way of trying to put more content over there and maybe get people or subscribers, opening the app more regularly and trying to do whatever they're doing with growing, subscribers and whatnot. So with that said, I'm kind of just hanging out a little bit. I thought I'm waiting on an update from Jamel Herring. Don't laugh, Latours. I'm waiting on an update from Jamel Herring, who was supposed to call in, but he's out doing some stuff for his daughter. But he was supposed to join us too. Obviously, if you saw the thumbnail, I had Jamel Herring on there, and that was no disrespect intended to Demond Nicholson, because his people could be like, fuck you got my man on here for, and you got this other dude on the thumbnail and whatnot. So no disrespect to him, man. I'm only one person. I can't book callers and all that shit all at one time and do a good interview and keep the thing moving. So work with me. Latours, man, let me know if you want to call in and talk about the fights tomorrow, man. Last time I had you on the show, we ran into some technical difficulties or something. But if you want to holler at me for a second, let me know if you're still on there, or whoever the one person is that's out there. If you want to call in, a lot of fights tomorrow. Ohio doing his thing, contributing to the ESPN Plus action tomorrow with Jared Anderson, as well as Albert Bell, the youngin out of Cincinnati, Duke Reagan. I think he might be at either featherweight or super featherweight. So good action over there on ESPN Plus. The DAZN card probably gets started a lot earlier in the day, being that it's from the UK with Conor Benn and Samuel Vargas. Honestly, man, that's not going to be. It's some intrigue in that fight because Vargas, Vargas has been in there with several dudes. With Pac, Jesse Vargas, maybe. I think Jesse Vargas. I could be wrong, but Virgil Ortiz Jr. So, it's some things to see. Conor Benn fought Sebastian Formella and beat him up pretty good. He didn't get the stoppage, but he beat up Sebastian Formella after Formella became a thing in the United States by facing two-time welterweight champion Sean Porter twice on Fox Sports. So, just to get a comparison of what Sean Porter and all his accolades and achieve his stance or status in the game, to see what Conor Benn, who's, relatively new to the game. Actually heard a pretty good interview from Conor Benn. It was on the Akin Barak show, by the way. Let me see what my man said. They need to update the UE and have a play on the background feature. It's generic. Yeah. They need to do some work over there. I think objective number one might be trying to, if it didn't expire today, was trying to get us that damn Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight. He's been sending a group of offers for the past 3 or 4, 7 weeks now. And that's that. One interesting thing on that Eddie Hearn situation with trying to get that fight done is initially he was talking about it's like 8 or 9 locations. It's 8 or 9 sites, bidding on this thing. The commodity.
What's up?
Dark-skinned Thanos in the Billy.
Hey, man, I'm at the gym, but I did have to call in, though.
Well, I
appreciate that interview.
I appreciate you supporting the program, man. I definitely do. Like I said, the last time you came on, I don't even know if your audio even made it into the show. I might have been talking to myself for 45 minutes, thinking it was a two-way conversation.
Yeah, man, that was a good interview, though, man. It got a lot of perspective. It added a little bit of flavor to it. Now, instead of seeing him as just Berlanga's opponent, now it adds personality to the fight. It gives you something else to watch for. Right. And I hope he's successful in it, man.
Yeah, and like I told you before offline, man, that's all I really set out to do with this thing. I prefer to just write these fights up. But I thought it was some lost opportunity in these guys only showing up on Saturday to go in there and fight and people see you for, you know, your 30 minutes, your 48 minutes, or your 36 minutes, or whatever the hell you get, you know, it'd be advantageous for these guys to take a moment and get out here and share their stories. Like my man, he didn't have to tell me about that catheter thing though, man. I'd have been better. I'd have been a little better without all of them details. But I just thought that was crazy though, that, you know, and that lets you know what Berlanga is going in here against, a guy whose career was almost ripped away from him at 26 years old. You know, this is a guy that I think is going to find a way to actually give Berlanga a fight.
I think so too. And what you said at the beginning, when you said about the humanization part, it's things like that where it's a lot of athletes want to try to be rock stars, so to speak.
Right.
Or they want to act like they too big for quote unquote smaller media. But they don't understand that sometimes it's not just about them, and his story can inspire somebody else who went through or going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the biggest things I took away from that, and that I liked a lot about that.
Yeah, and like I said, man, that's a damn good fight for him. You know, to be the co-main event. And then obviously, you know, with a chance to derail things for a guy like you know, Berlanga. Because, you know, you hear Joe Tessitore, you know, he's making love to Berlanga, you know, while he's in the ring.
Oh yeah.
And then it trickles over. It trickles over to Ward and Bradley, because you got to be impressed with what you're seeing. But again, I'm looking for somebody. Like I said, they said you know, Kavaliauskas was, you know, Bob Arum was like, this is a welterweight hitting like a super middleweight. Even my man from the Royal Storm Cat, Dog Bay. You know, he was supposed to be he was a vaunted puncher, and then he ran into a guy who could eat that shit in Navarrete, and he found himself in a fight. So it'd be dope if
my bad. Go ahead.
I was just saying it'd be dope if you know, if Nicholson can make this guy show us that he really knows how to box.
Yeah, and it lends more credence to his point, or the point he made of some fighters being moved too fast. And you can go there with a Dog Bay. If Dog Bay people took their time, they'd have looked at all the intangibles between him and Navarrete, and they'd have avoided that fight and still down the line.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm on the sports book, so I got to look at the sports book and I look through the gym to see what I'm going to wage. Because that kind of confidence, man, I might have to risk a few dollars tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to scrap together a couple dollars. Just got to make it to the fourth round.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Hey, do what you got to do. Just give me my other stimulus.
Right. But no, you know, and like I said, with some of these guys, you wonder how some of these guys will really be able to fill up, you know, 3-minute rounds. Some of these guys get into the pros and they hit somebody 2 or 3 times and see a guy still standing there. How do you shoot your load, so to speak, you know, and I don't know, man. I'm just hoping, I'm pulling for the guy to make it interesting, you know, and upset the apple cart possibly.
And to your point, we haven't seen Berlanga face adversity, and I haven't seen Demond fight. I'm going to take it now tonight on YouTube if I can find something. But he do got a high knockout percentage, albeit it might not be against stellar competition, but neither is Berlanga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we might find out a lot in this fight on both sides. That's what I'm hoping to see. I was hoping to be scrapped.
Yeah, I vaguely recall Demond Nicholson against Jesse Hart. But I mean, that's kind of something that's not in his favor. If Jesse Hart knocked him down twice in the third round, and Hart's not really the biggest puncher. So, but you know, every fight is different. We'll see, you know, we'll see. Like I said, I wanted to bring the guy on, man. He sounded like a good spirit when I heard him on the Akin Barak show. And, you know, I just try to do my thing here on Bite Down Boxing.
Hey, you doing your thing, man. I wish that people could appreciate this more. I'll tell you, I don't say this because we cool, whatever, but it's high quality content. When I'm friends with somebody, man, it's easy for me to not listen to them. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And it's weird because I don't want to feel like I'm just doing it because we friends. You know what I'm saying? But when you got the content that you got, man, it's captivating, if I want to use a word. So I'm always tuned in, man. So it get me excited. I wouldn't even know anything about him if it wasn't for you. So yeah, I'm ready to take the fight out now just because of you. I ain't lying, exaggerate. I'm always watching that fight because of this interview.
Yeah, and that's what, like I said, man, I see, even if you heard the interview last night with Breadman. I asked him, I'm trying to get his insight on the Keyshawn Davis cat or the Shaw and Franklin fight coming up on Ring City USA on NBC Sports Network April 22nd. And he was like, man, I don't know none of them motherfuckers, man. I ain't seen none of them yet. And I'm like, damn, okay, well, I gotta talk about them. Like, that's really not what I want to do.
You gotta ask Bread about fights that was in black and white.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to go back in history, to get him going. Hey, well, look, man.
Tell you all the way. Go ahead.
Anything you looking forward to this weekend? We definitely got
Boots. I got to see the Boots fight. That's my main fight this weekend. Ron Boots. He my young fighter that I'm pulling for. He the least heralded. What's the name? Bread missing the alleged 14s and lightweight. We know they get a lot of notoriety. And Ortiz recently, I feel like Boots underrated or something. He's not being heralded like these other young fighters.
Yeah.
And I like him the most out of all of them. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
You think he can stop Lipinets or kind of what's your outlook on that?
It's about 7 unless he get him up out of there. 7 unless he get him up out of there. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Lipinets just a little Lipinets a little too flat-footed and methodical, straight moves and straight lines. He gonna feel a lot more comfortable being close to Boots. And I just see Boots getting in and out, and then coming in when he feels it's really safe to go in there and really punish the man. But I tip my cap to him, man, because that's a hell of a.
Me too, because he don't have to take that fight.
That's a hell of a night for you.
It is.
That's a hell of a night for you.
But I want to see. You said the heavyweight we talked about earlier. He fight tomorrow.
Yeah, Jared Anderson is on there against.
Yeah, I want to see him.
He's gonna be on ESPN Plus most likely.
I mess with ESPN Plus, so I subscribe to that. Cause I'll be looking at the UFC fight too, though. But I didn't know he was only 22 years old, and it seemed like he getting brought along the right way. And I just want to see his skills. I heard y'all say he wasn't like a super muscular fighter. I just want to see what he made of. So that's probably my second fight that I want to see this weekend.
In some,
either that or yeah.
In some regards, I mean, it's kind of a similar story with Boots and what we see out of Jared Anderson because of his ability, his movement, the agility that he has at the heavyweight division, the way that he can let his hands go, the combinations that he's putting together, the defensive tactics or techniques that we're seeing. It's some similar buzz in what we're seeing in him. The only thing that kind of gave me some pause is a couple of weeks ago, he had a picture, or maybe a week and a half ago, he had a picture with him and Brian Jennings, and they were about the same height. And they had, they got Anderson listed at like 6'4", and I don't know if he really 6'4" or not.
Right.
Because Jennings was only like 6'1", 6'2".
Jennings probably had on his claws or something. Probably on his heels. Yeah, I was just playing.
So,
but is he a strong fighter? Can he punch?
Good power, solid power. Not that devastating, like, it's not the same level of what we saw out of a Mike Tyson. It's not what we've been seeing out of Wilder the last, but he's a much different style. He's only 22. I mean, some more stuff could, some more power could come or whatnot. But just his ring generalship, man, his ring IQ at this stage is nice. I mean, he brings a lot.
He remind you of anybody as far as his skill set, not necessarily the carbon copy, but anybody coming in mind when you watching fight, even regardless of division?
Not yet, because I'm kind of just seeing him against the level of competition that he's against right now. I don't have much to go on to say that. But it's like watching a super middleweight though, or a light heavyweight. The way that he's able to move, and like I said, the combinations. I look at punches like wide receivers had in route trees, and he seems to have, or they maybe they call it his dictionary of punches or something. I've heard it before, but he seems to be able to put all the combinations together in various sequences and whatnot.
So you said so it maybe like a lesser version of Willie Jake.
Man, I'm gonna let you get to your workout, man.
Hey, let me. I'm going and come work out with my cousin, man. Let me chop it up with you, though, man. I appreciate you letting me call in.
Yeah, thanks for hitting me up.
All right, man. Keep it up.
All right, peace.
Yeah.
And that was Latours Harrison from the to check him out on his the Conceited Nobody channel that's on here on YouTube. Like I said, man, I was kind of holding out, man, seeing if Jamel Herring would give me this call. Out doing something. He said he was stuck in traffic. He was getting together something for his daughter. And honestly, man, he said earlier or yesterday, he was on the Akin Barak show and said that he was going to be headed back out to camp in Omaha, like shortly. So I ain't really trying to hold that man up. I just wanted to get him on. He's been on every damn podcast in the world this week. The Porter Way, Montero on Boxing or whatever. A couple other platforms. He called into the Akin Barak show. He's made the rounds this week. So honestly, to keep it a buck, it was really kind of challenging for me to even ask him some stuff that he hasn't answered, a dozen times this week. But I have some stuff because I do what I do over here. But I'm gonna go sneak this workout in myself and get in where Latours was. But anyway, that was it, man. I hope anybody that checked out the interview earlier with Team Nicholson, man, I'm pulling for him. I'm also, I'm not hating on Edgar Berlanga. I hope he, may the best man win. If he is in fact what he's being billed to be, I don't want to see the dude fall just to see him fall. I don't really follow the sport like that. I just think it's a pretty interesting fight. Obviously Nicholson's been stopped inside the distance twice. So it's not a guaranteed win. I mean, Top Rank tried to step Berlanga up against, they thought they were doing something with Bellows and Ulysses Sierra. And, neither one of those. And Eric Moon, like I said, I couldn't believe what I saw happen to Eric Moon. I mean, really, to not even mount much of a fight whatsoever, that shocked the hell out of me. I didn't know if Moon was capable of winning that fight, but I expected him to make it a fight, and he did nothing. But again, that was early on when boxing resumed from the stoppage, from the pandemic and whatnot. And you didn't know some of these guys. We didn't know what they were doing in the gym before they arrived to the bubble. And some of these guys, if they were able to make weight and get a check, they went and got that check. So I don't know if that's what it was, but Moon's performance against Berlanga was really shocking. I expected that to be much more of a fight. I don't even remember. I don't recall if Eric Moon even threw 3 or 4 punches before he was put out of there. So, but again, I think, like I said, in talking to Nicholson, and that's the thing, he says something about, fear, and it's hard for these guys. It's hard for people to execute when you're experiencing fear. And with all of the, we watched it with Tyson, guys get into that ring. Can they be who they normally are? Can they stay composed? Can they think things through? We don't, I want to see what he does. I want to see what he does. He could, the hell was that notification about? I want to see what he does. And I think it's a good card, man. It's a lot of, I always say Josue Vargas is on there. I don't think none of these names are up on BoxRec just yet. Matter of fact, I got to check real quick. Emmanuel Navarrete, I mean, he's box office alone in many regards in the main events against Diaz. So that's a good fight. Yeah, they don't have any of them listed just yet. Damn, I cannot think of. What's his name has a pretty good fight on there. Elvis Rodriguez has a pretty good opponent on that card. Honestly, let me see if I can find. I can't think of who it is right now, but it is somebody that I'm aware of the name. Anybody else wants to call in and talk about the action, what you're looking for this week? I'm gonna be on here a couple more minutes. If you want to holler at me, I think I just put the number down there. If you want to call in, got some stuff to vent on, whatever. I'm gonna be here for a few more minutes. Trying to see who Elvis Rodriguez. Oh, Boss Man, Kenneth Sims Jr. Yeah, that's a good fight. Rodriguez went the distance last time out, so I think Boss Man will be a good opponent for him. That cat that Rodriguez fought the last fight, I liked that's another dude. Speaking of big punchers forced to go some rounds, the cat, what was his name? He was from Venezuela or something. Luis Alberto Veron. Elvis Rodriguez was another guy who was getting everybody out of there and doing it in 2 or 3 rounds. And this Luis Alberto Veron came in there and fought his ass off that night. I don't think he got knocked down once in that fight. I don't think so. Doesn't have it. Yeah, I don't think he got knocked down at all. And took some good shots from Rodriguez. Had Rodriguez a little frustrated here and there. And made Rodriguez box. So like I said, that's a perfect example right there of an opponent coming in and making one of these heavy-handed guys show some, Marty, what's up, Marty? Out of Brick City. Yeah, I think that's a good fight, man. The only thing I kind of look at, I kind of pair Sims and Samuel Tia together. And Tia just got knocked the hell out by Brandon Lee maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. So it's a little different when these guys pop up on the other platforms, because Sims has been on Showbox probably 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times. But now for him to come over to the ESPN platform, that'll be pretty interesting. So it was somebody else that was on that card that I wanted to see. It's a lot of Latino cats on there on that undercard. But again, check that co-main out. Let me know what you think. Like I said, shout out to Nicholson for coming on and having a discussion with me and getting the word out there on himself. And I like I said, man, I think he's a genuine dude. Great story. Seems like 2 or 3 brothers appreciated the backstory on him. And that was kind of the purpose in getting him in there. Other than that, tomorrow, what was it? Weirdly, I'm somewhat interested in this whole Shannon Courtenay and Ebony Bridges fight that'll be on the Conor Ben and Samuel Vargas card on the Zone. Bridges, I don't know, man. She's made herself a thing. Her looks, her boobs, her body, or whatever. I don't know. I just think Courtenay is a little feisty. So I think they've built the fight up. I think it's crazy that the UK has kind of embraced that fight and that there's some kind of buzz for it. Like neither one of them have done a whole lot of anything, but it's a thing this weekend. So I'm gonna check that one out. Also, what is she? Middleweight champion, WBO middleweight champion, I believe, Savannah Blueprints. What's that mean, man? I mean, give me a little more to work with. I think I know where you going, but I need a little bit more to work with. The other fight, Savannah Marshall was where I was going. She didn't get the fight in with Femke Hermans. I really wanted to see how that one would have turned out because we saw Hermans in the ring with Claressa Shields. I think that fight, I was hopeful, and then y'all figure out how to make it to heaven on your own. Cool. It's late Friday, man. I'm a little lost on it, but I mean it sounds dope. But I wanted to see where what Savannah's gonna look like. So I'm watching that. This replacement opponent, Maria Lindbergh. Damn, she's giving up a lot of height. She's giving up a lot of height against Savannah. And with her being a late replacement, I don't really have much hopes for her in terms of extending the fight or threatening Marshall. But I mean, we get to see what Marshall is. I guess, for those of us who like a lot of talking in boxing, maybe there'll be some kind of sound bite that Savannah can give with regards to Claressa Shields. How fast should they move Big Baby Anderson? I think they're doing a great job. I don't know much about this Carpensy kid. I mean, but what is it? 3 or 4 Carpensy brothers out of Pennsylvania. I'm sure I've seen this one in the ring before. I can't remember who it would have been against, but I mean, it's gonna be that fight out there where there's a significant jump for Big Baby, and you don't want to get him there a fight or two too soon. But it was an opponent earlier I was thinking about. I thought would be a good test. It's crazy, Marty, because you know what? I just realized it last night. I was looking at Jermaine Franklin's record, and I actually was at a fight in Cincinnati at the Radisson, and he was on that card. He fought that night, and here it is 4 or 5 years later. He's getting ready to be in this main event against Stephen Shaw. But I'm just saying all that to say, I would imagine that Big Baby Anderson is on the heels of those types of guys. Tell TMT was hating on Mexicans, duck me, toss a bag. I didn't even see those earlier. Kind of don't know what you're talking about, Norberto. I don't know what to say to much of that, bro. But yeah, I think he's gonna be on the cusp of facing that level of opposition here shortly, and I think it's good that he's staying in shape. I would love if he stayed at about this weight right here. Dude is confident. everybody that I know, all the, the trainers that I've talked to that I do know, they're big on him. Of course, the hometown Toledo people are really big on the kid. I don't know what we really get from this Carpentry fight. I mean, but if it's over in a round or two, they got to go out here and work harder to get somebody, to start testing the kid and seeing those things, that those unknown unknowns that we don't know about his game. Yeah, you like that pinch C? Hey, I'm not gonna hold y'all up, man. I just got a text that the food was here. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. If you didn't see the interview with Team Nicholson at the beginning of the live stream, check him out. Let me know what you think. Please hit that like button for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. Also, I schedule I work with these guys. I email these guys and text these guys. As one person, it's hard to get people to show up on time. So I got to jump around with the schedule and whatnot and work when I can get people in. But if you hit that bell icon, you will know when I do go live, and that'll give you the opportunity to see if I'm talking about something, or I have a guest you're interested in, or if I'm talking about something that you're interested in. I know I talk about quite a bit here on the platform, but if you get those notifications, you can check it out and make up your mind if that's something you're interested in or not. So that's one way to help both of us out. Again, I get a lot of yeses and then no calls, no shows, and I just got to roll with it. So I'm going to try to get, I'm going to reach back out to Jamel and see if maybe he'll come on either tomorrow, or if I do a recap show late Sunday morning, try to get him on one way or another. If not, man, you can find plenty of podcasts out there this week with Jamel Herring on there, and you can hear the latest and greatest from him. I did have a couple of topics that no one else hit on, and none of the ones that I've listened to with him. But like I said, man, he's out doing something with his family, and that's that. Let me get on out of here, man. Fight down boxing. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Enjoy all that action tomorrow, man.